Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue got her ass and left. I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this? Oh.
Wednesday. I know I'm foggy, and that's okay. I'm in a lot of pain today. I really am. And so we're in office 2, as you can see by my pillow that's poking out, my pillow sticking out behind me. I'm in a lot of pain. So I was getting up, I was getting the office set up, and as soon as I sat in my chair, I said, nope, 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 ain't doing it today. I'm not doing it today. So I have been going over this case with Sebastian Rogers. I was, communicating with a few folks on, what direction, you know, should 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 we be going in this case, because we need to focus it on Sebastian. We all have our opinions about what's going on. And then I decided to start reading my emails. And one of my emails was somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, you need to check this out from Evil Exists." And this was just this morning. I had a different thumbnail created. I had a different talk that we were going to have. It was going to be more about why now. We were going to dive a little more into the conversations of Sebastian Rogers' new photos being brought up. And then I see this video, and it was so red flaggy. And I'm going to play it for you. We're going to have a discussion. I'm going to be reading the chat, but we're playing the video and I'm talking, I'm not going to be reading the chat as always. And also with the extra frustration of not having a second screen where I'm at, I can't watch the chat and play the video. So it's one or the other. And so that's where we're going to be for this segment, guys. Melanie, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Eeyore Blue, Michelle, Tina, Donna, it's nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. Who else do we have? Elf Fig, it's nice to see you, love bug. I hope you're doing well today. Panda Bear's mom, God bless you. Sharon, it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Oma is up in the house. It's nice to see you. Halston, good morning. Deanna, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Scotty Too Hottie up in the chat. If this don't get Chris talking again, nothing will. I don't know if it's going to get him talking. I don't know what this is about. We know, we've learned. We heard at the very beginning. Let's just chat about this real quick. Let me put your comment up so I know where I'm at and I can keep going once I'm done talking to you. But at the beginning, we heard that there was some type of issues between Katie and Chris. And as the story was progressing, and we got tentacles in everything right now, the true crime community, we everybody shares information. We got tentacles all over the place. And so the information started coming out that this separation between Katie and Chris was a little more involved than we once imagined. We believed the reason why he wasn't coming home was because of, these CPS reports was Sebastian. And I kept saying that doesn't sound right from everything that, caseworkers have told me. It's unlawful for them for them to tell somebody to leave their home. So we kept going, kept digging. There's all these rumors going around that we're not addressing on this channel, with Katie and Chris's relationship and stuff like that. And then more corroboration came forward, and somebody was speaking to me about that they were getting ready to divide assets. This was a real big issue. It sounded like Chris and Katie were done, and we were unaware of it being to that extent. At the beginning of this case. And then we started learning a little more about Christopher and his kind of, every time he goes away out of town for a significant amount of times, he's at the local bar, hitting on the bartenders. One thing leads to another. We've heard a couple of those stories. We definitely have one absolutely 100% corroborated from Alabama, including speaking to the actual bartender and other patrons. There was I think 2 or 3 other people that were spoken with in Alabama. No, those things are not coming to the surface, but they have been corroborated and spoken about. So we know that there's this serial philanderer aspect of Chris. And that's also supported by him being 40 years old and now married to wife number 5. So there is obviously a man that doesn't understand marriage, that doesn't understand commitment, that doesn't understand until death do us part. Maybe I should shut up. All right. So we're gonna kind of go through that here in just a second. Deanna, it's nice to see you. West Virginia Holler Girl, Cameron, Cynthia, Cynthia. I thought it was Cinda. We have a Cinda in here too, so I wanted to make sure I didn't mix you guys up. Oh, Lady Dragon, it's nice to see you, Love Bug. Tiffany up in here, Arcaholic. It's nice to see you. Susie, Mary, it's good to see you as well. Yes. So what does it say? I love her new song. It's fire. We can play the new song. If you guys have not heard it, we'll play it here in just a little bit. It is a song for Sebastian's Army. Michelle, it's nice to see you. Above all else, weekly packet received. Nice to hear ya. B Betty, it's nice to see you. Patty, it's nice to see you. Angela says, I love your determination, Andra, a real American hero helping others. Have a very beautiful, blessed day. Yay. Praying for you. Much love. Oh, thank you. Much love for you, Sebastian. Much love. Praying for you, Sebastian. Much love. I am just twisted today, which has been like that. Yesterday was crazy. Today's not much better. So, Ginger Girl, it's nice to see you. Juicy Jello. Hey, hey, hey. I got time today. I really don't. I got to tell you, Little Orange Man, it's nice to see you. Purr. Maybe we need a purr button. True Crime Justice. It's nice to see you. Faye, good morning. Forever, Nikki's mom. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. Brianna's World, good morning. YouTuber up in the house after the storm. Adis, is it Addis or Adis? I'm sorry if I mispronunciated your name. Why is it so hard for some people to believe that Chris was dating or that he had done something horrible to Sebastian and told them about it? Chris likes to play games, in my opinion. I agree with that. Chris does like to definitely play games. But, you know, when you hear these statements, these are red flag statements. These are things that we've heard in the past that other people that have done terrible things reference. Typically it's like the wife, you know, my wife died, and people don't know what we're talking about. We're going to go over in just a second. Let me get through telling everybody good morning. MS, it's nice to see you. Summer 800 TBI find. It's nice to see you. Betty, does the lady that's saying all of this, does she actually have proof? Or is that what she is saying? This could also be a plot for them to start suing people. They love to do that. It doesn't matter. Once it's out in the public square, we can discuss it. So there is that. I'm not really worried. If I was worried about lawsuits, I probably wouldn't be suing. You know, I've got one lawsuit going on in Illinois, one lawsuit going on in PA. I got a lawsuit right now fighting for to get these protective orders tossed. We'll see how that works out. So we've got a lot of, you know, I'm not scared of lawsuits. Okay. I speak what I speak on my channel. If people don't like it, they don't like it. If I cross the line, they can sue me and I can sue them. It's just the name of the game. We are in America, right? So I'm not going to curtail my commentary over anything. We're going to discuss it. I don't know if it's true or not. We're going to look into the facts. That's what you should do is find out, well, we got to look at history. We got to look at behavior. We've got to look at stuff. Could it be true? If it's, you know, I'm not going to spend my time spinning my wheels on researching something if, you know, we know it's bunk right off the bat, right? So let's go through this. We'll have a discussion and we'll get we'll get the pulse of the audience and see where we go from here, you know, and see what kind of investigative work we're going to do on this. But I think it's definitely something we need to look into. These are red flags. These statements would be red flags, in my opinion, if they were truly stated. Again, we have to corroborate, right? Right now, this is just commentary on the statements that we're hearing. Next would be more fact finding. What next will be more digging in if we believe that there is a possibility that these statements could be true. Tracy, it's nice to see you. Cameron, it's nice to see you. Peggy, good morning. Good morning. Who else do we have? I think I've said Frank. Good morning. I didn't say hi to you. It's nice to see you. Queen of Hype, it's nice to see you. Reminding us, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And Lady 7 Up, I think, said hi to you. Nicey Marie, it's nice to see you. Love Bug. Passion Flower, good morning. Michelle, did I say hi to you? I'm not sure if I did. Oh, thank you. Forever Nikki's mom gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. I did bring my buttons in. So, because like I said, I was in the office and I'm like, no, it's not going to work for me today. It's not. I'm in a lot of pain. If you have received your Bullhorn Betty membership, your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Forever Nikki's mom, thank you. And welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. All right. I didn't want you guys having button DTs, so I made sure I grabbed a few buttons before I decided to move everything in here. I'm just not moving the equipment in. I'm in pain. No equipment. No equipment. All right, guys. So now you guys know, some of you probably haven't heard this. Some of you, most of you probably have, because if you are here and you are part of Sebastian's army, we're like little tentacles. Oh, thank you, Gypsy. God bless you. Gypsy gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell Gypsy thank you. And welcome to this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. And I think people just give Bullhorn Betty memberships just for me to say Insane Asylum. Happy Wednesday, Betty, Delilah, and Maud. We got Delilah. I like your channel, even though I hide in the bushes. You shouldn't hide in the bushes. Everybody loves talking to you. Yes, for all of my lovers, all of my Delilah fans. There she is, my little baby. Say hi, everybody. I'm Delilah. My mommy made me a song too. I love this little girl. I love her so much. She's my boot to my Puss in Boots. Oh, scratch and sniff. It's nice to see you from Pensacola, Florida. I hope you guys are doing well. The weather is about to start kicking up. We got a few months and we're back into a couple of months. And we're back into, well, no, a few months. We're back into the thick of hurricane season. So batten down the hatches. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Love it. Oh, love it. It's nice to see you. Big hearts. Big hearts. I haven't seen you in a while. Big hug too. I hope you're doing well. Panda Bear's mom gave us a super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was right about something. Rose wrote, it's nice to have you. Thank you for becoming the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. My puppy has gotten used to the buttons. She doesn't even jump anymore. She's just like, oh, it's mom again. Woman's Warrior. If you guys do not know, I dropped it down yesterday. I also posted in our community chat. Women's Warrior has a new channel. Let me find it in my emails real quick, and I'll drop it here. I did it yesterday, but I probably Woman's Warrior. There you are. Let's just see what we got. Here we go. I got it here. She's got a new channel. So if you guys would like, please go over there and check her out. She's been a Coffee Club member for, oops, I didn't mean to do that. A Coffee Club member for a significant amount of time. and we support our family. So I know she has great content. She's very thorough in her work. So if you kind of like that, go over there, give her a sub up. I really do appreciate it. God bless you. God bless you. Patty, it's nice to see you. Angela, it's nice to see you. Who else do we? Oh, thank you. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And Tasha became the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e., the Insane Asylum. If anybody wants to know where the Insane Asylum came from, we added that because Duty Ron says we're a bunch of psychos over here. So, since we're a bunch of psychos, we needed an insane asylum. So it's really to mock his statement. That's really why we stepped it up just a little bit. All right, guys, it is so great to have you guys here. I am so thankful that we have an opportunity to showcase these cases. I don't want to showcase these cases, but I'm glad we have created and cultivated a family based on true crime and trying to help where we can. We also get a little rough around the edges when we have to as well, and that's all in the pursuit of these cases and justice for victims. So this is one of the cases that we've deep dive. We do a lot of commentary throughout the year on a lot of different cases and report on a lot of different cases without actually diving in. When we dive into a case, it takes a very long time and a lot of money, time, and resources when we dive into these cases, because we don't just dive in, we order public records, we go boots on the ground, we really dive into the cases we want to learn a little more about. This case is not normally a case we would cover. We do not cover typically on this channel runaway teenagers. Unfortunately, it is just because there are so many. Okay. Children get mad at their parents all the time, run away. Children fight with their parents because they won't let them see their boyfriend and end up running away with their boyfriend. Some of these children come from drug addicted families and are drug addicted themselves and run away. Some of these kids are abused in a variety of horrific ways. Um, and are tired and run away. So we have a lot of reasons why children do run away, but typically until they get to a certain level, we don't really get involved. We get involved when we know that there's what is known as criminality. Okay, for us to be involved in a teenager missing child, it was originally just for avocation, since there were people from the Riley strain that wanted to go over and help search for this boy in the woods. And day after day, the searchers were coming up empty, and we were learning. About the time I was coming in, we were learning that Sebastian knew how to swim. So rivers and streams and lakes and ponds were no longer an issue for me, because he didn't like dirty water. He was 15 years old. I'm realizing that he is not as the mom and her husband are making him out to be. And this case keeps going on. Like I said, I'm not going to dive into this topic of conversation, but it's going to be one that we're going to take significant time and discuss. And it's why now? Why now all this flooding of photos? It may not be what we think. It may not be what we think. So we're going to dive a little deeper in that. But for this topic of conversation, we have some information. This is courtesy of Evil Exist. Evil Exist, I do like her commentary. She's from overseas. She does do her best to make sure there are accurate information. In all of fairness and full transparency, Evil Exist and I have butted heads a few times throughout, the information gathering or explanation thereof to audience members, because there are some things that I've said. There's some things that we've never attacked each other. We've always kept it clean and made sure it was on the whatever topic it was. There were some things that hurt my feelings, when it came to Sebastian's case early on with Seth Rogers and whatever the case may be. But that's just full transparency. But in a personal sense, I think Evil Exists is a good person and tries to do her absolute best to keep good information and good intel out there to the people. So let's go ahead and play this, and I'm going to show you guys and explain some things that, well, we'll play it first, and then we'll get into conversation and debate.
What I am about to share with you is so jaw-dropping and shocking. I don't even know what to make of it. Sebastian Rogers went missing from the home he shared with his mother and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. I don't think any of us can deny that there have been red flags, starting from those bite marks on Chris's arms, to the claims that Sebastian was beaten with a belt.
Sorry, I was trying to stop it, but I'm on a different computer and I keep forgetting my buttons are backwards on this one. So let me just go back. I want to say something here.
I don't think any of us can deny that there have been red flags.
This is where I want to stop. How many people, we're going to do a 2-3, we're going to do a 1-2-2-3, okay? How many of you guys believe that there are absolutely, without a doubt, red flags that you personally see in this case? If you have seen major red flags in this case that are red flags to you, I'm not asking you to answer for anyone else but you and yourself. Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't believe there are any red flags, or you just think this is a terrible accident, runaway or whatever, put 2 in the chat. Aw, thank you, VA. That's sweet. I love that. See, I can't even push the button because I don't like this keypad. I don't like going from a MacBook Pro to a Windows. It's so frustrating. It's one of the most frustrating things I can possibly do. Women's Worry said, I can honestly say that you get a raw deal from some people. If they actually took the time to get to know you, they would know that you truly care about your work. Exactly. But you know what? That wouldn't sell. You got to remember, the people that are attacking me are doing it for profit, not for any other purpose. They've never even been able to support their findings. Oh, Renee, thank you. Sending all my love, BHB, chat, Mod, Seth, and Sebastian. I've been watching in the shadows lately. Life has thrown me some hard times the last couple of weeks, but I'm still here praying with you all day. Oh, thank you, Renee. Well, we're definitely going to put you in our prayers if you're struggling. I can tell you today I'm struggling, but mine's just pain. I mean, it's just physical pain. It's something that will be most likely gone by tomorrow or hopefully by later this afternoon. So, I appreciate that, but we definitely need to make sure that we keep you in our prayers too. Anybody that's out there struggling, if you're struggling, somebody else is struggling, pray for all of us. We will never stop we'll never stop loving, looking, caring, and talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Aw, thank you guys. You guys are super sweet today. Look at that. Woohoo, any day now. Have a coffee bean. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. You're cray-cray. You're cray-cray. Okay, so we do believe that there are red flags. I'm going to shut up and keep letting this go.
Starting from those bite marks on Chris's arms, to the claims that Sebastian was beaten with a belt, his belongings thrown away, and his snake given away. Finally, he was about to go stay permanent.
And I want to say, all of that stuff that Evil Exists just acknowledged on there. You know what? You know how we found out all of that? I didn't realize I was on the screen so much. Oh, there we go. I'll go back. You know what? We found that out. We found that out from these two people. We learned about the belt incident from the Smiley Story World. I can't remember. I think maybe even the snake. A lot of the stuff that we've learned about them, they're the ones that told the public. Except the problem is they didn't think any of that was wrong. That's the problem. They were proud of their parenting, y'all. I know you're probably saying, cut it out. I'm serious. They actually thought that this was normal and this is how you treat a child. Seriously. I mean, you wouldn't even treat your normal child. Thank you, Teresa. God bless you. You wouldn't even treat your normal child the way that they were treating a disabled child. Okay? Period. We are okay with our crazy. Amen. Amen. So none of this stuff, nobody can say this stuff is a lie, because I don't know why these two people would lie about making statements like that. The reason why they made them is because they saw nothing wrong with them parenting in that manner. That's why. It wasn't until the whole world erupted that they realized, oh crap, we need to walk this back. I still don't think that they think that their parenting style was wrong. I truly believe that they're proud of classifying, because I mean the only way they can justify this in their mind is if they classify themselves as strict parents. This is not strict parenting. This is abusive parenting.
With his biological father, to the guy that there have been red flags, starting from those bite marks on Chris's arms, to the claims that Sebastian was beaten with a belt, his belongings thrown away, and his snake given away. Finally, he was about to go stay permanently with his biological father, Seth Rogers, and do homeschooling. So essentially, even his teachers and friends that he loves are being taken away too. It is just heartbreaking to think about the way Sebastian must have felt. We've just got shocking information.
That's it's so subjective though, but that is almost a show in and of itself, is how Sebastian must have felt. If we were to put ourselves and our adult selves, now you take us and put us back to childhood, and you guys remember how ultra sensitive we were as children. All of us children were sensitive. We got thick skin as life beat us up, right? So when we're younger, we have a different idea of what world is, of what love is, right? You only know what you are taught. For example, it wasn't until I started staying at friends' houses and not hearing their parents argue before I realized, most parents don't argue every day or, moan and groan about this or that. Because I was brought up in a different household. So it wasn't until I started sleeping over at friends' houses and seeing how my friends' families acted that I started realizing that, my family didn't quite act the same way. So, I'm flipping through before I change my screen. There we go.
Information that makes everyone look away. Friends that he loves are being taken away too. It is just heartbreaking to think about the way Sebastian must have felt. We've just got shocking information that makes everyone look at Chris Proudfoot a little closer. He allegedly went on a date just 2 months after Sebastian went missing with a woman he met on
2 months. 2 months. 2 months. Okay, this is all allegedly. Now I have to attach allegedly to this because one, I don't know who this woman is. We're about to hear that this was, and I think that Evil Exists already said this was a lady in the chat on a YouTuber, not providing us a whole lot of receipts here for these statements. Usually, like hindsight will clip the actual, what was actually said in the statement, or state what channel this person was on when making those statements. Something where we can go back and look at, reference, corroborate. I don't know. So if you guys know what channel this was that this information was released on, or the person in the chat, please send me the link to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you guys already have the screen grab of the statements made by this person, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I need to corroborate some information. I'm not going to reach out to this lady or anything like that if you're concerned about it. I just need to find out where this was stated, and what was actually printed from this person. That's what I need. I need to be able to read what was said. And in the way that this is set up, I can't see it. So please send that. If you guys know which channel Evil Exist is referring to, if you know, if you have a picture or a screen grab of the statements made, again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. This is super, super critical to us getting to the bottom of these statements. So if you are interested in this and you have some information to give me, she shows Evil shows the channel. Perfect. Thank you, Scotty Too Hottie. So let me go ahead and finish playing this. Like I said, this was captured. We are doing a raw view of this right now.
After Sebastian went missing with a woman he met on Bumble. There was a woman that was in a YouTuber stream that commented she went on a date with Chris Proudfoot at a bar in downtown Nashville. The name of the bar was also given. It's called the Patterson House. Look.
Now, this would be something I could see. Dad, burn it. I didn't have it on the big one. This is one that Justin's channel. Thank you, Rodney. Clutch. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. If Justin is watching, if you saw those, would you mind clipping or sending me copies of the statement, whoever made it? I'd greatly appreciate it. The lady reached out to Justin. Perfect. I appreciate it. So this looks like something that Christopher would take somebody on a date to. My first problem is 2 months after this child was missing. Let's go over to, I'll put my face back on so you guys can not look it up. Just a bar. Just a bar. Let's look at let me go to Google Sheets, I think is what it is. Sign in. We're going to sign in under a different account. Unless I've got it in this one. Do I have it in this one? Open. No, I do not have it on this one. Okay, give me just a second. I got to open up my other account. I don't need crap to that. I just need my Google Sheets. There we go. All right, so 2 months. Let's look at the interviews. So he disappeared on February 26th. So within 2 months, that would be March 26th, April 26th. So let's look at the stop sharing, share this tab. Let's share this tab. Let's look at the interviews that they had up until February 26th. This one looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So at this point, and there might be other ones, at this point, we have 9. Oh, you guys didn't even see that. 9 potential interviews to April 26. 9 interviews stating that they love each other. They're just a family, that his stepson just walked away. And this man, this serial philanderer, is potentially on a date within 2 months after this child disappeared. All right, Eveline, I'll get over there. I'm not really a Tia or T fan, but we will go and check that out. If you guys don't know what I'm talking. Eveline Coupin says bed crime story, so we'll go over there and check that out in just a second. All right, let's look at this this bar, this swanky bar that even Katie doesn't go to.
The name of the bar was also given. It's called the Patterson House. Looking at pictures of this bar, It looks very fancy, and the drinks are expensive too. However, this story gets worse. Chris Proudfoot talked about his son. Chris allegedly told this woman that his son passed away in a car accident about 9 to 10 months ago. The story was that they hit black ice, got into a crash, and his son passed away.
Wow. 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 Is this true? Is this true? I know, nice $20 drinks. Yeah. Did you see that bottle of Krug? $225? Holy smokes. Total fabrication of what happened. If this Scott Peterson 2.0, that would be, I hope this lady has reached out to law enforcement, because this right here is something we've seen in many, many cases when describing someone that was unalived at the hands of the person saying that it was an accident. We've seen it over and over again. You don't believe me? Go watch any type of crime stories. I guarantee this is almost verbatim from other cases where somebody's going on a date and talks about how his wife, had cancer when his wife was disappearing, or was murdered. BHP, if this is true and that lady tell TBI, then why in the crap have a TBI? I'm telling you, at this point, this is what people don't understand. And I've said this before. At this point in this investigation, without a grand jury indictment, nobody's getting arrested. So they're not arbitrarily going to just go and arrest these people. They need to convene a grand jury when they have enough information for the grand jury to come back with an indictment. It's too far. If this was right up front and they arrested them up front, it's a totally different story. But when you decide to wait until your investigation is complete, you're screwed. Now you have to wait for the indictment, the grand jury indictment. So, I mean, you can arrest them and do a preliminary hearing if you want, but it typically, you want to go for the grand jury. You want to go for their indictment versus doing like a preliminary hearing or whatever. So it would be a sealed indictment, and they can't say it's criminal. If anyone sees that indictment, it's a misdemeanor. So that's what Girl Mom says. This is what Girl Mom says right here. Hey, Girl Mom, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. So there you go. And I'm telling you, we've heard stuff like this. This is not, I'm not shocked if we find out these statements are true. Okay. It is not being put on here as factual by Bullhorn Betty. I haven't corroborated it. I'm just learning where it came from. I'm going to be diving into it for a little more information, because in all honesty, even though I said I wanted to wait to get your feedback, in all reality, I've already put out why I believe this could be true. If I didn't attach could be true to it, then I wouldn't be looking into it. I'm not going to be looking into it. But I have already determined that this could be true. And why do I believe that this could be true? Because we know he's a serial philanderer. It does not surprise me that he'd be on a date with a woman 2 months after Sebastian disappeared, because it sounded like him and Katie were already broke up. That's what I'm trying to get the world to come to realization, that it sounds like they were truly split at the time Sebastian disappeared. How convenient, right? Now her and Chris are side by side. I mean, there's a lot here, a lot more than meets the eye when it comes to the Sebastian Rogers case. And they don't even have to have all the proof at a preliminary hearing. Bingo. Yeah, they just have to have enough to get the indictment or the ruling for the indictment. So that's why people are like, well, wouldn't they be arrested? At this stage in the game, law enforcement won't just go and arrest them at this stage. That's why it's so easy to tout that, oh, well, they're not in jail. Oh, they're not in jail. Because now because of the way that law enforcement did this, now that the only way you're going to get handcuffs on them is having an indictment. They cannot, law enforcement can't say, oh, we indict them. There's a process for that now. And that process has to come to fruition before we see handcuffs on them. And that's if we ever see handcuffs on him. Because remember, we don't know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, and his father believes he's still alive. So if it, at that point, they have to eliminate, they can't arrest Chris and Katie until it is eliminated. They can arrest them on, I'll say it this way. They can arrest them on charges of the abuse. But if Sebastian is alive, they can't charge them with a death, if that makes sense. And so we have that situation because, again, many do believe that he's still out there and still alive, and those avenues have to be eliminated before any other charges other than abuse charges. And once the abuse charges are levied upon them, then they have to turn over evidence to support their claim, which might go to the integrity of the investigation. You see? And they may not want to charge them and tip their hand on what they have for other criminal charges. There is that. That could be a possibility. I think Sebastian bit him and have been saying this since it came out on social media. Also, their phones should have been confiscated. From my understanding, they were, but it sounds like not immediately. B Betty, wrong channel, sweetheart. Deafening silence is my channel. Oh, did I put the wrong channel? Deafening. Email your new channel, or email. Did I put the wrong one? I thought I put the right one. It says deafening silence on it. My channel is deafening silence. Let me copy it again just to make sure I've got it. Copy address. I'm on the email. That's where I got it from. So let me drop it again. Hold on. Let me find out where I'm at. Let me try it again. Paste. Okay, there it is. Huh, weird. Okay, hopefully that's the right one. Ellie should have looked at all of the relationships between Sebastian and everyone close to him, and Sebastian's disappearance should have been treated like a crime from day one. It might have. Think about it. We're learning how hard it is to get on this Amber Alert. They were able to get him on an Amber Alert by the next afternoon. Maybe it was treated like a crime. Remember, the DA was out there, boots on the ground within 72 hours. I almost feel like he was there by day 2, but I think he was there. I know for a fact he was there by day 3. So, and I because I remember looking past seeing the DA out there, but most of the cases that I cover are deceit, deaths, murders, homicides, and seeing the DA out on the scene is nothing new. But it wasn't until somebody had let me know I'm getting a little twisted. Yes, you've seen him out there, but this is a missing child case, and that's when the light bulb went off over my head. You're right. We've never seen a DA out on the scene of a missing teenager, a runaway. So there were indications within that first 48 and first 72 hours that definitely indicated to me that there was they were looking at the criminality aspect of this. My problem is when we learn that there was no, because I was assuming that. But then when you also learn from Chris that they never did fingerprints in the house or outside of the house, they never went in the house forensically and did any type of DNA or blue star or amino black or anything to lift up any possibility of, unseen evidence. And that was we were told that on Smiley's Story World interview March 20th, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was March 18th. Might have been March 18th. Well, I keep getting those dates mixed up. So they may, believe it or not, have been treating this as a criminal case long before they even stated that they were backing off the search. Remember, They were already getting the warrant for the landfill. They were dredging ponds and waterways. I mean, they were giving us very clear indications, in my opinion, early up front, what they believed could have happened. Chris was spending a lot of time going onto social media live chats discussing his voice and threatening bodily harm when he could have been trying to find his wife's son. Exactly. I agree with that 120%. That is the case. But you see why he didn't really care. He checked out of this marriage a while ago. He was ready for wife number 6. He was hunting for wife number 6. I'm not sure why this man has to bounce from bed to bed, or why he feels like he needs to marry everybody that he lives with. Maybe it's a religious thing for him. Maybe it just makes him feel good. Maybe it's for benefit. Maybe it's for, I don't know what military benefits give. But I would think after 5 failed divorces, maybe the person would think that they would take some time off, get their life together, and figure out what they really want in life. I can't imagine that divorces are cheap. I have to think that every time you get a divorce, and maybe that's the reason why he doesn't like kids, because he can take his stuff and they can take their stuff, and the courts are the courts. Maybe he doesn't mind living in a house with a 100% mortgage, because when it's time for him to go, he doesn't really have anything in it, right? They have 100% mortgage on their house. Him taking off, there's nothing in there, and he probably doesn't really give a crap about the equity. Keep it all, unless you sell it, then I want 55%. Right? So, Lisa, how soon do you think LE had their hands on the CPS reports? Within a week or 2. They would have gotten those lickety split. Those would have been on their desk, in my opinion, within a week or 2, maybe sooner. I mean, I have to think all they had to do was call and, somebody maybe fill out a paperwork and it go through, approval, and, maybe a couple days. Yeah, I would think at the minimum, but 2 weeks maximum. They don't have much money as people. I said that a long time ago. We actually did a live stream back in March or April about this very topic, because Katie was in the top, in the first position of the mortgage and the title. And usually they don't do that unless she's the one with the better credit or the breadwinner. Those are the 2 reasons why a woman typically is put in the first position, is that the loans typically more based on them than the second party. With me in this house, my name was put in the first position because Vince and I were already married, but I bought the house. It was my money that bought this house. And so I put myself in the first position to claim that authority. He had literally put nothing into this house. He put some, he put labor into the house when we got it, but it was my money that purchased this house. So when it was time for him to go, he's like, well, I want the equity. Yeah, that ain't happening. Like, we can do this with attorneys, or we can do without, but damn well, I purchased this house with my money. And that was the end of that argument. So he was just a placeholder because we were married at the time we purchased this house. That's why I maintained the house after it, but they've got a mortgage. It's a VA loan, which you can, be loaned up to 100% of the loan. Now, you still have to pay for the closing costs, which are typically under, $10,000. Some of them don't even get above $6,000, but you have some closing costs that are associated with that, but no down payment. So you don't have to come up with 10%, 20% of the purchase price as a down payment. So they basically got this house, this big, beautiful house, 100% financing with very low closing cost. So he can easily walk away from it. He pulled out cash from the Remington property. I don't know where that cash went, but then they purchased this property, but it's a VA loan, which means 100% financing. She was thinking long term, though, keeping that house and the lifestyle. I truly believe that. At the end of the day, Katie's life, if you guys want to know what stresses she had, her life was crumbling down around her. Chris's life was crumbling down around him. They were literally splitting up and blaming Sebastian for this horrible breakup. That's just my opinion, but it's based upon what we're seeing. That's what it appears to have happened. So, all right, let's get back to this very, very shocking and bombshell video released by Evil Exists.
At this point, the woman knew nothing about Sebastian, and when she saw the story on the news, she realized that it was Chris she went out on a date with. She took this information to TBI. Take a listen.
And we, talked some last night. And this was about 9.5, 10 months ago.
Ooh.
When this happened. Oh, let me, 1 second here.
Thank you.
Got
the Mad Hatters. The Hatters Madness.
I'm gonna.
They got me tongue tied. I want to hear about.
You guys can definitely see where I stopped. I stopped literally right here.
9 and talk some.
She went out on a date with.
That was where I stopped the video and I realized this was something. So I'm glad to see Justin
Took this information to TBI. Take a listen.
And we, talked some last night. And this was about 9.5, 10 months ago.
Ooh.
When this happened. Oh, let me, 1 second here.
Thank you.
Got
the Mad Hatters. The Hatters Madness.
I'm gonna.
They got me tongue tied.
So Michelle, what he told this lady is that here, I'll bring it back to the beginning and you can watch it.
Too. It is just heartbreaking to think about the way Sebastian must have felt. We've just got shocking information that makes everyone look at Chris Proudfoot a little closer. He allegedly went on a date just 2 months after Sebastian went missing with a woman he met on Bumble. There was a woman that was in a YouTuber stream that commented she went on a date with Chris Proudfoot at a bar in downtown Nashville. The name of the bar was also given. It's called the Patterson House. Looking at pictures of this bar, it looks very fancy, and the drinks are expensive too. However, this story gets worse. Chris Proudfoot talked about his son. Chris allegedly told this woman that his son passed away in a car accident about 9 to 10 months ago. The story was that they hit black ice, got into a crash, and his son passed away. At this point, the woman knew nothing about Sebastian. And when
So hopefully that answered your question, Michelle. That's what was said. He said that he got into a crash and his son passed away. That's what was stated on this date with this lady. So we'll keep going forward. It's only a 6-minute video. We've already had some discussions on the other statements that are going to come after.
when she saw the story,
But I realize there are people that are just coming in, so I want you guys to hear that. Let me just go back about 30 seconds for the new people coming in. Here we go.
the name of the bar was also given. It's called the Patterson House. Looking at pictures of this bar, it looks very fancy, and the drinks are expensive too. However, this story gets worse. Chris Proudfoot talked about his son. Chris allegedly told this woman that his son passed away in a car accident about 9 to 10 months ago. The story was that they hit black ice, got into a crash, and his son passed away. At this point,
Those, to me, if true, are red flags. It sounds like there might be some receipts at the end. I only went up to about a minute and 40 seconds, and I realized this was something. So I changed my whole direction of my show on the fly this morning because of this new information that was brought to my attention from one of our subscribers that sent this to me.
the woman knew nothing about Sebastian. And when she saw the story on the news, she realized that it was Chris she went out on a date with. She took this information to TBI. Take a listen.
And we, talked some last night. And this was about
Huh?
9.5, 10 months ago
Ooh.
when this happened. Oh, let me 1 second here.
Thank you.
Got
The Mad Hatters. The Hatters mad.
I'm gonna
They got me
show-
tongue tied. I want to hear about this date.
Well, this was about 9.5, 10 months ago. And if you remember about 9.5, 10 months ago, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I, asked her, I said, well, where did you go in Mississippi? Was it Tennessee? Like, where was this date at? And it was at a bar.
At a bar?
At a bar. It's in downtown Nashville.
Oh, did he get sweet tea?
Well, the Patterson House.
Oh, ooh la
Patterson
la.
House. Downtown Nashville. Holly S. Smiley's been in a row. I'm here for it. Uh-oh. Here we go. And she says that according to her, they met on a dating site.
Well, yeah, that surprises me. But he didn't tell her he was married?
No. But this is what, let me get my text out, okay?
People ask us, why do we run cases over and over and over and over again? Because you never know what day somebody is going to come across a feed that says Sebastian or Sebastian Rogers and say, or see Chris or see Katie, and remember something. Everybody is not tuned into this case just because we are. Just because we have a few people from the community doesn't mean we have a reach to, say, Nashville, right? Now we're running this case. Somebody's going across. They're doing some searches, and this thing comes up with this Sebastian Rogers, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's a guy I went on a date with." Now we don't know if that happened, but people ask us why we do what we do the way we do it. One, it's for algorithm purposes. Two, it's for information gathering purposes. And three, it's for exposure of the case. Those are the main focus and the main reasons why we keep these cases every day in the news. If I don't tag Sebastian Rogers for a few days, his name will fall down in the algorithm. If Justin isn't doing the same, his name will fall further down in the algorithm. So in order to keep him fluid and fluent on these streets, it's the constant talking about, constant contact on the case every single day, religiously. Even if it's a 5-minute clip, even if it's a 2-minute clip, even if it's on TikTok, even if it's on YouTube, even if it's just a story in a off-brand, commentary page ran by a content creator. It doesn't matter. It's all about algorithm. If we were to trust mainstream media with this case, it would have been over and done with in 2 weeks. Nobody would have paid attention to it. That is the power of social media, and that is the power of the true crime community.
And she has told, she did tell TBI this. She got in contact with them months ago, she says. So there's that. Give me 1 second.
That's no Hooters, is it, Joe?
That's not Hooters. Definitely not Hooters.
I'm just curious. Are you saying that this is bullshit because
Where's
somebody reached out to him? And it sounds like the person reached out to TBI, giving their statement more credibility. So just FYI on that.
where is her text? Goodness. Bear with me, guys. Okay. And she also said this in chat last night. She claims that she said it was close to 9.5 or 10 months ago. He told me his son died in a car accident.
Oh, crap.
That there was black ice and there was a two road, and he hit black ice and got into a crash.
So wait a minute.
So he's basically saying to this person that Sebastian lost his life while he was there, right? In the car with him. It was his fault. Maybe it was for sympathy. Maybe he figured if he came out with a sympathetic story, maybe he would get lucky. I mean, there is that, right? There is that. I wonder if she's she's a little butthurt. I'm sorry, not to be disrespectful, but it makes you wonder. She is this out of frustration because he never called her back? Why? I do have some belief that this could be possible. And this is what the lady is stating. I know Justin doesn't pull crap out of his butt, and he definitely doesn't lie or manipulate information. So he's reading what is being stated to him. I'm absolutely 100% confident about that. My issue lies where this person is making these statements. How do we corroborate those statements made? I'm sure that if Justin is in conversations with this person, he's probably going to try to have it supported by some type of documentation. Whether or not he shows it or not, I'm very fluent with Justin's practices. And he does have corroboration as part of his ingredients on his show, which is very, very beneficial. Some people go off of emotions and, talking points and stuff like that. He wants the truth. And that's why I definitely support him and his channel and have. We don't always see eye to eye on things. You guys have seen me and Justin have public arguments, right? His channel and my channel, public arguments. But at the end of the day, we do both fight for the truth. So the Proudfoots want everybody to believe that Sebastian ran away, and early on, Chris was trying to suggest Sebastian was involved in a hit and run, allegedly. Interesting. Oh, good gracious. Why? Let me use the key. I can't stand this. I'm gonna try my mouse.
What month? When would that have been? That the child died?
She didn't say. She knew nothing
Right
about Sebastian.
Right.
Like she had no idea until she had saw it on the news after that, and she's like, that's the guy that I went out with.
Yeah, because usually, they'll say, oh, my wife died, or, was sick and died, or, even if that's a lie. But to say your child died is kind of, boy, I would like, and I know she told law enforcement all that. That's kind of.
It's a Scott Peterson moment. I think we can attach that this was a Scott Peterson moment.
That's weird, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. She said that she got really hammered that night. She's not gonna lie. She said she got really hammered that night, and he ended up leaving her at the bar.
What I am about.
So he ended up leaving her at the bar. I guess no booty call for her. But we do know this is why I believe that this could be true. One, we already know and already have corroborated that when Chris is out of town, he goes where? He goes to bars. We have corroborated that there has been a kind of psychopathic moment at one of these bars where Chris got into a physical altercation with somebody and they were beating his you know what, and he's lying on the ground hysterically laughing. Just a creep moment. Then you have the philandering, you have the 5 wives, and we know that he likes the more posh lifestyles. So all of these things kind of hit at the same time when it comes to this story. So that's why I'm saying it's possible that it can be true. And therefore, I think we should go a little further in investigating this tip and lead. I'm very thankful that this person did go to law enforcement before she came to social media. But this definitely suggests a lot. This suggests a lot. This to me would be a major, major, major red flag. Why would he even be talking about, like, he didn't even have to talk about Sebastian if he was on this date, right? He didn't have to talk about Sebastian at all. He could have literally just had a conversation about anything else, but he chose to have the conversation about Sebastian, and he chose to lie and already make Sebastian deceased in the story. That does not give me a lot of hope, if true. Now, what's allowing me to say that it's probably more true than not is the fact that this lady went to TBI. I don't, we've heard hoaxsters before on these platforms. They typically go on the YouTubes and the TikToks and says things like these salacious stories, but I'm too scared to call law enforcement. Can somebody call it in for me? That nonsense. And darn good and well, it's bullcrap, because law enforcement will keep you confidential and review your tips, and they have a confidential tip line for you. If you don't want to be known or go on the record. This one, I don't know if she will have an opportunity not to be on the record. Because if true, just like in the Scott Peterson case, his mistress was put on the stand to answer questions. So is this one of many? And if so, how many other Bumble dates did he go on? And what did he tell those people? I think that law enforcement, if they have not already, probably needs to look at his dating line, because he's most likely on his phone. So they should be able to get that data very, very quickly. They should be getting that data sent to them weekly or monthly or something to that effect. So they're keeping abreast of all the conversations that they're having, apps that they're using. They can have a subpoena, a warrant, whatever they need for the phone company, the phone carrier, which tells them everything, right? It tells them what apps you're on, what apps you're downloading, what you're scrolling on. They can see if he's got a Bumble app on his phone, they can see who he's checking out. They can see who he's communicating with. They can get search warrants for Bumble directly to get all of his communications and anybody he's set up a date with. In addition to, he's most likely using credit cards at these bars as opposed to cash. But even if he's using cash, like somebody said, they might have great cameras. The problem is this is just now coming out. Would those images from 9-10 months ago still be on their cameras? Probably not. And that's the problem. So are they going to be able to retrieve any images from that? If he's used cash, maybe she give him a specific date and time. Maybe they can go through if she tells him what they ate or drank the time that they were there. But it sounds like she got completely drunk out of her mind. And Chris said he's not dealing with a sloppy drunk and decided to excuse himself. And that's kind of how it sounds like it all went. I know we have a lot more people in here now than we did before. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you guys one more time, fully through. I'm not going to commentate on it, just so you guys can get the, actually, you know what I'll do? Let me go ahead and put Evil Exists. Control C, Evil Exists link down in the chat, and you guys can go watch it yourself. This was based upon apparently a live that Clutch Them Pearls did with communication with this mistress of, I don't know if you can call her a mistress, because it doesn't sound like they did a whole lot except get drunk, and he left her drunk. That's a little dangerous. But, you know, it's not like Chris Proudfoot's really the manly man that he tries to portray himself to be. Otherwise, he would have made sure that she safely got into a cab, right? Most gentlemen that take a lady out on a date, especially if she kind of drinks too much, make sure that she can get in a cab and get home safely, or offer a ride. Both cheated. There is possibility. I can just tell you that when I was in that community at the very beginning, I learned early on that nobody was seen going over to that house. They don't have people come to the house. There's no regular visitors to the house. And so the probability of Katie having an affair on Chris was low. And that was with the exception of learning that there was this possible thing with the Chris car, which lives behind them. And the more I research that, the more I don't believe it's true. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. There's nothing that has supported that information outside of speculation. There's not any scintilla of anybody in the neighborhood that saw this Chris car going over there regularly or staying in the house for an extended period of time while Chris was gone. None of that stuff did we hear. And I asked early on. So there's a lot, but if this is true and those statements were made out of Chris Proudfoot's mouth, we got a problem. And we've had a problem with him for a while. Some of the statements he made, we knew were final, right? Like his statement when he said that nobody's going to find him, right? Nobody's going to find him. And that has always resonated in the back of my brain. Nobody's going to find him. And nobody has found him. And then we have him going on a date and telling somebody that he was in a car wreck and died. These are typical of people responsible for somebody's death. I'm sorry. These are typical statements we hear in cases when somebody has been unalived. I'd like to learn more. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. My pain feels like it's at least subsiding a little bit. I can tell you it would have been much more aggravated if I was in the office, but I am probably not going to be doing a whole lot today except pumping out videos because of my body. I'm not sick. I'm just in a lot of pain. So we're going to do breaking news in the cases. It's 11:30 now. We're going to do that around 1:30 on Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. I really like the setup that I've got now because one of the biggest problems I've been having is trying to figure out how to weave all the new information. The cases we're not taking deep dives in, but I do think you guys need to know the information or just know about the story. It's kind of like stories from all over the country that are happening, that are, breaking now. And that's why it's called breaking news, is because this is all the news stories that are generated on the daily that we don't get to read or get to dive into. Like the PA student, I'm finding more information out about that. It sounds like the FBI is getting involved in that student. Something is not right. And there's a boy that is from Iowa that was with her and hanging out with her, and his story is all over the place. There was obviously a lot of alcohol. It is still possible that she is in the water, and it is still possible that she was abducted, and it is still possible that there is other foul play associated to the last person that was seen with her. So we still are all up in the air, all over the place, trying to figure out what happened to her. But one thing is for a fact, wherever she is, she's either cannot speak against, against her will, or she's deceased. I don't see any other outcome for this. So she was either abducted or she's dead. There's no easy way to cut it. Now, if she's dead, it's either intentional or an accident. So we are still up in the air on that, but FBI is now having a more of a major role. She was a dual citizen of India. So now India has a placement in this investigation, as well as the Dominican Republic. So we have literally 3 continents working on this one case, and it doesn't look good. I'm praying to God, what an a-hole that leaves a woman in the water when the surf is so rough that it's getting them sick to their stomach. You would think that they would say, hey, why don't we just go up on the beach? This is too much for me. And they both go up. The idea that one person leaves and leaves the other person in the water doesn't make sense. Now, could have something happened in the water and he got out and she drifted off? There's a possibility. We don't know what happened. All we know is that she seemed happy and lively and, under some intoxication before her disappearance, but she looked happy. There didn't seem, if you look at the videos, there's nothing that I can say looks devious or red flags. I didn't see in the clips that they provided anybody following them or anything like that. This is a strong message to females. If you are out with your female friend, you can give them privacy without leaving them behind, if that's the case. We don't leave one another behind, and we definitely don't leave one another behind with strangers. Make sure our children are taught proper etiquette when out with friends, because that proper etiquette may save one of their lives one day. And this is a situation where there was a lot of alcohol, I could only assume, because you can kind of see it in their walk and talk, and, you can't hear what they're saying, but you can kind of see it. Okay. And no matter how much you are, whatever, you don't leave your friends behind with strangers. You just don't. Now, if you guys want to go to your rooms and do whatever, you go together. You go together. Basic girl code. Absolutely, Queen of Hype. Basic girl code. Don't leave your friends behind. Okay? This one action could save lives. It could save your life. It could save your children's lives. It could save everybody's lives. We don't do things alone. All right, guys. God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless you, and have a great, 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 amazing Wednesday. And we'll go out with a little bit of the mullet party before we go through our outro.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue out her ass and left. I'm on TV. Oh, shit. First cops, now this. Oh.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels. and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.